It helped solidify me or re-establish the confidence I had in myself that I am good at what I do. And I am a good product manager and I can be a director. And now I am a very good product manager and I'm a director. That's what I'm
There we go. So good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lynn. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited that you start your new job in a week or two.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that too. Can't wait to get going.
So let's dive in. So tell the folks listening, where were you before you decided to start the program?
I was at a point in my career where I knew I wanted to take a next step. And I knew director was I wanted to be a director of product. That's what I felt I needed. And I remember even asking a manager at the time, telling a manager who was a director above me, I want your job. What can you do to help me get there? So I tacked in my own career and made a decision. I actually left product for a while, for a brief stint, just trying to figure out what came next. And so left product, realized that was a bad move, pivoted back to to product, and found myself back in a senior product role and really uncertain of just, I wanted to make that next step, but really unsure like how to do it. I had made a move that didn't work out. My confidence was ultimately at like an all-time low. I was really questioning, like, are you even good at this product management stuff? Can you even, are you in the right career? Should you be switching careers? What are you thinking? Like every sort of question you would ask about whether what you were doing was right. It was what I was asking myself at the time when I found the program.
And what made you decide to ultimately say, hell yes, I'm going to invest in myself?
Lynn, you had reached out to me and we had an amazing conversation where I was just able to sort of articulate to you. And it was great to have somebody who, when I described what I was looking for, resonate back and say, okay, yeah, I can help you get there, as opposed to okay, we'll talk about that. Like, and then you also had, there was an example, you gave me an example of someone else who was in the product. And it was one of those, like one of your students who, or participants who had gone from like a senior product manager to director in a matter of months. It wasn't years. This wasn't something that was like, oh my gosh, you need like years of training. Like you can reposition yourself. And so those two things, one, finding someone who would listen and contribute back to help me. And then two, seeing that you're not years away, Phil, right? Like this is something you can figure out. Were two of the big motivating factors for me to try to sign up for the program. Felt like I needed something.
What were some of the key learnings that have really helped transform things?
Oh, without question, the biggest key thing that I still to this day advocate to everybody is your message about being your authentic self. I think what I kept trying to do was figure out, like, how do I fit myself into the role of director? Like, there was a preconceived idea of what it meant. Like, and I was like missing a piece, or I was like, somehow I was not complete yet to match that role. So being your authentic self, and then having when somebody tells you like, yeah, that's okay. For some reason, when I hear that about like an area I'm struggling in, it's super helpful. So hearing that like, hey, be yourself. And you know what, if somebody doesn't think that that's right for their job, then you're not right for that job. And that's all right. And there is a job that's going to be right for you. It changed the way I interviewed. It changed the way I talked about I approached different things, even in my current job, but specifically when I was looking for new roles. I just was way more comfortable being myself and acknowledging that if somebody didn't laugh at my jokes, or somebody didn't get what I was saying, like, okay, then you know what? That was a sign, not that I'm not right for a director role, but I'm not right for that director role, which was super helpful for me in, bounding back and forth. The other thing that really resonated with me was like the personal branding messages about LinkedIn. And I will not say that my LinkedIn profile at this point is not still a work in progress. It is. Combining those two things, I have on my product LinkedIn that I'm a strategic leader. I'm a product Jedi. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love putting that on my LinkedIn. And again, going back to the authentic piece, is that if someone looks at that and says like, oh, I don't want this guy, like, great, But if somebody looks at it and says like, oh, I get it, that's cool, I'm like, great, let's talk, right? And just being able to put myself out there like that was and then thirdly, I mentioned that I should say that I talked about the program, entering the program, my confidence in myself was at an all-time low. And so the other big takeaway was restoring my confidence in that I didn't have to consider, am I good at being a product manager?
So I get a lot of people saying, all right, Lynne, I don't know about this whole group coaching thing. Can't we just do a bunch of one-on-ones and it'll work?
The group coaching, honestly, I talked about the confidence. Group coaching is what did it. I mean, that was the thing. That was the big thing for me. The group participation. So then our one-on-ones were great. I don't want to take away the importance of the one-on-ones. That's super helpful to get that one-on-one feedback, that one-on-one experience. But for me, the group settings were so helpful because you got for two specific things that it really gave me. One, it was great to get outside perspective. Mm-hmm. I mean, so much of or at least for me, so much of my product coaching, my product experiences always come from, work and job experience. And so you're working with people who are in your job or in your field, but to like be bouncing ideas off of them and talking about technology and product solutions and see the commonalities there. And like doing those group exercises, the group exercises were awesome. Like it was basically like the case studies. Mm-hmm. I mean, those were the things where you're stretching yourself to try to understand, okay, if I'm working at company X and I know nothing about it, how am I going to solve this problem? Or how do I even approach it? And just the validation of one, having an idea and having other people tell you like, oh, that's right. Or, oh, what if we did it this way? It like opened my mind up to like just thinking differently. It was so beneficial. Like the Inspired Product Leader is like a community. I mean, when I was out then doing my job searches, the job that I took, the director job I got, I wouldn't have taken if it weren't for the IPL, because I wrote a post to the group saying I was looking for, so the job I actually applied to, I ended up being a director through negotiations of the title, but the job was head of product. It was a small company, and I wouldn't have even applied for it had it not been for a post that I sent out to the IPL community.
And what were you were saying earlier, you're on a different trajectory now. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I went from being, I hate to use the phrase stuck, but it was stuck. I mean, I was a senior product manager for 5 or 6 years. Before that, I was a product manager at other companies. And I just couldn't seem to figure out how to get myself into that next level, that leadership. But I just had no idea how to do it. It's amazing. You asked me to build a roadmap, I'll be like, yes, absolutely know how to do that. And then you say, hey, what about building a roadmap for your career? I'd be like, whoa, I can't build that. No idea.
Exactly.
I don't have any idea how to build that. But with the program, I mean, really, that's what I've been able to do. And because I now have a roadmap and a vision for what I want to be, I went from there being totally lost to now having that title of director. And I am going to be running the product organization for a small startup and reporting to the CEO.
Amazing.
So that wasn't like, the change was going to the program.
Welcome. I am so excited to watch your career. You are such a rock star. You're going to have such an impact on the product managers who report to you, because you get it. Thank you, Phil, for doing this. You're a rock star. I can hardly wait to watch your journey.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.